So I think people forget that today's MAGA Republicans who want to turn us into a white Christian nationalist country under authoritarianism, that they have to do it through the court system. That's one of the 7 pillars of Project 2025, to change our judicial branch so that it's applying the law the way that they feel the original founders of the Constitution wanted to apply it. Back in the time when slavery was legal, back in the time when women couldn't vote, back at the time when white men held every position of power and made all decisions, okay? That's what they want. So everybody knows the American Bar Association. There's the state bar associations, there's a national bar association, and they're the ones that administer the bar exam to lawyers. When you pass the bar exam, that means you have a good understanding of the law and how to apply the law, right? And then to maintain that membership in the state bar associations, you've got to go through continuing education, and they're looking at how you're applying the law and your legal writings and so forth to make sure you're still operating at a level of integrity. Well, Pam Bondi just gave the big FU to the American Bar Association and said, we want nothing to do with you anymore, specifically when it comes to the Trump administration appointing judges. See, what the American Bar Association does is when there are lawyers that are being nominated for these appointments, the American Bar Association looks at everything with these lawyers, and they rank them as well qualified, or not qualified to be appointed as judge. They look at their intellectual capacity, their judgments, their knowledge of the law, their legal writings, their conduct in the courtroom, whether they let personal interests interfere with their judgment, and so forth. And what's interesting is that when Pam Bondi said, American Bar Association, we don't want you weighing in on who Donald Trump wants to appoint as judge. It's been done before. It's been done by other Republican presidents, including Trump and George W. Bush. Why? Because there were 8 lawyers that were appointed by George W. Bush who received the not qualified ranking from the American Bar Association. And Trump, 8 of his nominees that ended up getting confirmed received the not qualified designation from the American Bar Association, okay? See, they would rather have judges like the one appointed by Donald Trump in Utah, who just let a child rapist go because he was a white young male who had a promising future. See, they want to appoint judges like that. So what do Republicans lean on if they're not leaning on the American Bar Association for these judgeships? They lean on the Federalist Society, which is an organization that wants to apply the law the way they think the original founders wanted it applied. Again, back when slavery was legal and women couldn't vote and white men had all positions of power, okay? Members of the Federalist Society include Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley. There are several members who have spread the misinformation about the election fraud lies that Donald Trump spread. And there are many that were at the January 6th event. But one of the biggest members of the Federalist Society is none other than Leonard Leo. Who's Leonard Leo? He's the evangelical extreme conservative billionaire who is behind funding a big part of Project 2025, who's a big part of birthing Project 2025. Leonard Leo, who has spent his full-time adulthood stacking the Supreme Court with extreme conservative judges to overturn the laws of the land that give all of these different groups rights, liberties, and equality. That Leonard Leo. So the administration is getting all of their advice from the Federalist Society for appointing judges. Pam Bondi gave the big FU to the American Bar Association. And I'm going to end with this. The American Bar Association is still very powerful, okay? And the Project 2025 MAGA folks want to take it down. They want to infiltrate it and take it down. Pam Bondi's own brother, for instance, ran to be president of the District of Columbia's chapter, and he just recently lost. And the biggest thing that they don't like about the Bar Association, besides the fact that they want judges that'll take us into regressive laws, they don't like that the Bar Association strives on diversity. They're very anti-discrimination. They're very anti-bias. That's why you see so many black attorneys, female attorneys, and so forth. And this administration, Republicans do not like that. Yeah.